of F2Tekkz coming up against the immovable object of MsDossary. I think we're calling them the Special One and the Saudi Prince. They're the nicknames we've settled with.
AKA the two mini goats? Is that what you said?
A couple of kids, yeah.
Couple of kids.
A kid is a little goat, of course, and there is a little but powerful goat, and there's another goat there, little goat. But I just want to be very clear. I don't call them goats. I don't think they're goats yet. I think they're little goats, kids, but they could be future goats, Mike.
They definitely have that potential. If you're looking at the current era, or the era from since FUT champs, both of these guys come up now as household names of guys that could be the greatest ever. And
we are underway here, of course, Tekkz in the Liverpool kit and MsDossary in the Rogue jersey. This is big. This is the final Swiss format game. Both these guys already through, but whoever wins it will have a better seeding going into the first knockout round on Xbox. Tekkz with the ball here. MsDossary getting it back straight away with Mbappe. Ruud Gullit trying a little back flick there. What did you think of that last game? Did you catch any of the Rogue matchup between MsDossary and Goal Machine?
I caught all of the Rogue matchup, and that's another reason that I think MsDossary is going to edge this match just because of form. That looked the best that I've seen him play today. And he's known to grow into tournaments. And to be fair, so is Tekkz.
Yep, very true. And I think everyone knows Tekkz has been the standout player so far this year, but you have to say Rogue, the standout team. They've got players, obviously a number of players performing very well, no more so than MsDossary, but Goal Machine doing well. And he's got a big game up himself happening right now against Marcus Gomes. That's an elimination match. One of them will not be going through to the knockout round. Chance for MsDossary here. Ruud Gullit goes over here to Marcelo, a left back. Finds Mbappe on the left side, back into Marcelo. Good 1-2. Chance of the back stick. Good clearance from the other. Marcelo goes to Ruud Gullit, who hits it against the defender. Now Rio Ferdinand can just clean things up for Tekkz. And he's just been so impressive this year, hasn't he, Mike? Tekkz. What's impressed me most is different countries. He's done it in different conditions. You know, things like the EPL last week, doing it with a different squad entirely. He doesn't seem phased.
Not at all. And him qualifying even for the E-Prem, he literally took a flight from Atlanta, and he was playing in that qualifier 16 hours later. No breaks, no sleep, whatever he caught on that flight in terms of being jet lagged. It had to be that way, and he still gets the W's. He always figures out a way to get the job done. And that's one of those traits of a champion, that pedigree, so to speak.
Definitely, and it reminds me of Gorilla's era of dominance as well, because one trait Gorilla had was you could never count him out of games. Sometimes it'd be 3 or 4-0 down. You'd still feel like he could come back as he does these 1-2s on the edge of the box here, and it's a deflected shot, and it is the lead going to Tekkz, the Special One, up against the Saudi Prince. First blood to F2Tekkz.
Tekkz didn't like our predictions. Clearly.
He didn't. We've made him angry. What do you think of that goal?
A little bit of good fortune. You don't score goals, you don't take shots, gets the deflection, finds the bottom corner, he's up 1-0. It's still very early, 15th minute. We've seen Dossary, he's not going to be nervous about this. He's not going to change his gameplay style. And the same can be said for Tekkz. Both of these guys have so much experience in big moments on the big stages that they're not going to be rattled. Yeah,
I think the shot would have probably troubled De Gea anyway, but the deflection off the inside leg of Ruud Gullit has cost Dossary a goal there, who's 1-0 down. And what I was going to say is, you can never count Tekkz out. And in the last game, watching closely him against #Ryan, even at 2-0 down in the first leg, there was plenty of belief that he could still get back in it, as he did. I think he ended up winning 4-2 in that game. And that's a great character trait to have, of course. But here, we're seeing Tekkz with the lead now, so Dossary needs to show some of those same characteristics. But Tekkz gets the ball back, nullifying the early threat of Dossary from kickoff. Ruud Gullit over the top here on the right side for Ronaldo. Approaching the box. That's a good tackle, but it's going to fall back to Neymar. And Patrick Vieira now on the ball. Into Ronaldo. Nice first-time pass for Mbappe, trying to get the finesse off. Just over the bar.
It wasn't green. And something you're going to see...
It's got to be green.
It has to be green. And something you're going to see from Tekkz throughout any of his matchups is he utilizes the wing play masterfully. He makes you feel like you could do the same thing, the way that he's able to cut inside and find that space time and time again.
97% passing accuracy there we saw on the screen. It really is fantastic. We always talk about wanting to get into that 90 percentile, but 97 is obviously close to perfect. And one other thing we talk about a lot with Tekkz is, and I'll use this word deliberately because he's a Liverpool fan, the gegenpress, you know, the high press that Liverpool use in real life. We see Tekkz do it really well. When he loses the ball, he gets it back almost instantaneously, giving the opposition no time to get into the game and get that possession up. But it is Dossary who's got the ball off Tekkz here, coming forward now with Patrick Vieira, icon in the middle of the pitch, who finds Mbappe playing on the left side for Dossary. Is that where you'd want to utilise Mbappe yourself?
I'm not complaining with either of these guys' tactics. I'm going with the flow.
But you're picking up tips.
I might be picking up some tips. Like, clearly what they're doing is working.
Chance. Neymar, back stick, got to be a goal.
Has to be.
And it is a header at the back post for Ronaldo. Cristiano, of course, making it 1-1 for MsDossary. And that is just, once you see that back stick cross and the keeper on the other side of the goal, you know it's going in, Mike.
You can't miss that. Everybody's going to finish that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I was just going to say, you will see variety in the types of goals both of these guys score, because they're always very reactive based on what their opponent gives them. So if the wings are open, you'll see some of those crosses. Skill move sessions, yeah, they got that in their locker. And the same can be said with the long shots and different types of shot selections. And I almost learn new things in the meta every time you watch them play, especially in those big adrenaline moments where they're pushed to their maximum potential and they're forced to adjust. They're forced to adapt and showcase something new if they want to get that victory. Yeah,
we are seeing two absolute titans of FIFA come up against each other right now. Mike, would you say this is premium FIFA material?
Absolutely premium quality FIFA material, without a doubt.
Okay, lovely. That's what I wanted to hear. Ruud Gullit on the ball with that premium FIFA material. He finds Mbappe. And we've got a run by Eusebio getting the ball, but dispossessed by Rio Ferdinand. Still very commonly used in people's teams, you know, despite there being higher rated centre-back options. What is it about Rio Ferdinand that people love?
You can count on him. His positioning is on point. He's strong, he's fast, he jumps well, he's physical. His only downfall is that he's not amazing at being able to find some of the passes out of the back. He's not going to have the highest passing statistics, but if you stick him next to a Team of the Year Ramos, a Team of the Year Varane, even a Team of the Year Van Dijk, you're going to be good to go. You can still facilitate some of those long passes, but he's just so reliable.
Crucial, the icon factor as well, obviously, that allows him to get that chemistry, because we're seeing people like they want to put Van Dijk into the team, but not a lot of Premier League players necessarily in these squads. You need someone to help that, and an icon can do that for you.
You could also say he's proven. We've seen him in previous installments. A lot of players feel more comfortable using players that have been almost staples year in and year out, such as a Ruud Gullit or a Patrick Vieira. We're more accustomed to seeing them instantly included in squads from the very beginning because we've already seen a past history of them being special players, guys that make a difference, very dynamic.
Yeah, Rio Ferdinand was the first icon SBC I did this year. I've only done a couple, and I thought, you know what, he came out reasonably early. I can build my team around him, get a centre-back sorted for the rest of the game, and he's been in there ever-present as the cross comes in for MsDossary, but it's punched away by De Gea, and that's a big opportunity for Dossary there.
Made a good read as well. Maybe a little bit of good fortune there from Tekkz to be able to get a save. Very similar to the first goal that we actually saw from MsDossary, looking for that back post cross.
Ronaldo getting the ball back for Tekkz. And 97% passing, just dropping a little bit now as Tekkz tries to fill this game out and is having to be a little bit more hurried as he's no longer got the lead. Ruud Gullit finds Patrick Vieira.
Do you feel as if it's opening up? I feel like the first 20 minutes were a little more cagey. I know Tekkz got on the board. Maybe the ball bounces away, got that friendly deflection. But I do feel like it's a little more back and forth here in the midfield, and it's going to be a matter of who basically limits their mistakes.
Yeah, it's like a sparring match between two boxers in their absolute prime, but they don't want to give too much away before the big fight coming up. You know, that's an interesting punch there from De Gea, and it's going to be a half-time whistle there. But yeah, they don't want to give too much away. You can see how even it is, both with 2 shots, 1 on target. Possession almost equal, only 52% with Dossary, 48 with Tekkz. And yeah, what's your tactic? You're someone that's played obviously in many competitions over the years. If you're in a game, you're one of the better players in the tournament, and you're coming up against someone you think is a close rival, someone you might have to play again later, how do you approach a game like this? Do you go gung-ho looking to send a message, or do you hold something back?
I wouldn't hold something back, but I want to make sure that I also don't put them on a pedestal. It's important for me to play my game and to make sure that I'm able to maybe test my gameplay at the moment. Am I playing as good as I think I am? Or am I able to learn something in this matchup, something that I can carry on later on in the tournament? Maybe I made a couple mistakes and he's able to punish those, and I gotta adjust there. Or I know when I lost that match, or I gave up too much possession. And you've got to be able to kind of analyze your gameplay. And if you play someone early in an event, you can watch it back. You have the benefit of being able to rewatch what happened. They
can go home later and check it out. As Dossary gets into the box here, Tekkz always finds a way of blocking the shot, though. And one thing I was going to say about Tekkz is that he's very good at nullifying the threats from kickoff. You know, you see a lot of people that are very good at utilising that and scoring these early goals or these reply goals after conceding themselves. But Tekkz is someone that rarely gives them up. As the cross comes in, it could be a goal. What a header away from Marcelo. Huge header from the left back. Not everyone using Marcelo at left back, perhaps because of the fact there are other better headerers available. Some of the centre-back options played off chemistry at left back, more likely to win them. But Marcelo doing well there, Mike.
I need to talk to Tekkz Marcel. I'd like to give him on my team. Usually doesn't climb like that. Ronaldo on the back post, it's going to be in the back of the net. And it's worth mentioning there that MsDossary actually used a very advanced skill move where he used the ball roll into a Kacha flick, which is a 5-star exclusive skill move, and then he was able to whip in that cross. And you just don't see that setup quite as often. Remember, I talked about players being pushed to try something new or to influence the meta, and that was a good example.
Chance! Oh, that's a green header, but it's gone straight into the hands of David De Gea. And I'll tell you what, Dossary would be very happy to see the Spaniard pick that one up. I thought it was going to be a certain goal. Last few crosses that come into the box haven't led to goals. And here we go, Ronaldo back to Patrick Vieira for Dossary. This is a cagey game, guys. Neither of these guys wants to give up the victory here because, let's face it, as much as it doesn't necessarily decide the overall winner of not only this event, but the eWorld Cup Grand Final, which could well be contested by these two on the Xbox side, it's still a lot of bragging rights, particularly when you've said what these guys have said earlier today.
I was going to say, they're definitely keeping tallies. Tekkz told you right away. I beat him twice, and MsDossary's only beat me once.
I can tell you some of the other scores going on around the grounds. Megabit is 1-0 up against PSG-Dax right now. Battlecat finds himself 3-2 down to FaZe Tass, who's having a fine bit of form to close out the day. Rogue MsDossary, obviously we know, is drawing right now with Tekkz. We've got De Gaucho 3-2 up against Janos. He picked up a big victory last game. He's already through, but hoping to make it 4 wins from the Swiss format. Rafsu 2-0 up against Stokes, who started so well, but his form is declining, it seems. Hashtag Harry finds himself 2-1 up against Beto 19 of Villa. We've got Sakal in a game, of course, with Lyrics. He's 1-0 down, or Lyrics is 1-0 up, I should say. And Rogue Goal Machine also 1-0 down to Marcus Gomes. That's an elimination match. Whoever loses that is going home. Speaking of elimination matches, Black Arrow 2-0 up against Hashtag Ryan. Perhaps a shock. But Hashtag Ryan might be happy with that one. I'll keep you updated with any other scores as the goals go in. Yeah, it is always a sad part of the day when you have the elimination matches, of course, but so many games have had to be played to get to this point.
Depends what side of that elimination match you're on.
Of course.
Sad for one, happy for the other. You're actually seeing MsDossary start to be a little more pressing, a little more assertive with his defensive pressure. And this is something that Dossary is known for, is being able to adjust tactics opponent to opponent. And he's been all Dossary in the second half, outside of maybe the one cross attempt from Tekkz.
Nice La Croqueta there into the box. And that's not only is he able to adjust his gameplay based on his opponent, like he seems to be able to adjust his gameplay every year depending on the FIFA title and the way it plays. You know, that's for me when you're looking at this GOAT conversation. As I've said, I don't think either of them have reached that status yet. But one thing you've got to consider is oh, that's a good hit, and it's off the corner of the bar. The rebound saved by De Gea, and Tekkz is living on a prayer right now. 2 huge chances for Dossary, who had the absolute, you know, the guts to hit that shot from distance. Not rewarded. And
you can see it. Dossary swarming them. We haven't seen Tekkz struggle so much to get out of the back. He's not hitting those counterattacks and the outlets with ease that he normally would be. And it's been all Dossary in the second half.
As I was saying, Dossary is so good at adapting his gameplay across titles. You know, he's won major championships in 3 different games now. And he's actually a lot younger than people think he is. He's still less than, I think he's 19, maybe 18 years old. He's only a year or so older than Tekkz, but it seems like there's a much bigger age gap than that because he's been around that little bit longer, of course. But Tekkz obviously having a huge sort of 14, 15 months since he burst onto the scene in Barcelona last year.
I remember the first time I saw Dossary play was in FIFA 17, and it was at the one of the
in Vancouver.
It was in the Vancouver event because they ran the I guess the Asian qualifiers,
the rest of the world
qualifiers at the time, and they also ran the North America, South America qualifiers. It was during the same week, basically.
You played in that?
Yeah, I was playing in the North American, South
That tells
American
you how long ago it was. You were playing a big event.
Thanks, I appreciate that, Spence.
He was in the EMLS. That's unfair. EMLS is a big event. You were in that. You did all right, to be fair.
Moving on to the let me talk about the matchup here. I was saying
digging myself out of a hole.
The first time that I saw MsDossary play, I was like, this guy's special, this kid's special. Yeah. Didn't know his age, didn't know a lot about him, but in terms of the gameplay that he had at that point in time, I was like, he's head and shoulders above everybody in the rest of the world division.
Speaking of heads and shoulders, he's knocked that one straight in. There's no dandruff on his head. That's a shampoo joke.
And both of these guys score set pieces. This is beautiful. He's going to use the first man in order to flick it on. See this in real life a lot as well. Tucks it away, 85th minute.
Let's have another look at this. It was a flick on. Did he mean that flick on?
Absolutely.
You think he meant it? You don't think that was an intended shot that was luckily falling onto Van Dijk's head?
Nothing lucky about that.
Okay, but at this point, you make your own luck, and even if they didn't mean it, you put yourselves in that right area. But Mike's confident he meant it. Van Dijk popping up with a goal against the die-hard Liverpool fan, Tekkz. That's got to hurt. Ruud Gullit on the ball for Tekkz now, trying to get back in this. The first time in this tie Tekkz is down. Mbappe on this left side goes back to Ruud, the man that is in everyone's team. You just don't leave the Dutchman out, do you? That's just a crime against FIFA.
He should never sit on your bench. Unacceptable.
Marcelo to Virgil van Dijk. Finding Mbappe with a lovely long pass there. Mbappe going back to Ruud. Kante making an appearance. Not in everyone's team. Does he get in your team? If you've got every player at your disposal, like these guys do at this tournament, does Kante get in your starting 11?
100% I'll have him as a sub.
Okay.
And it's a matter of kind of the gameplay. Do you want someone who's a little faster? Kante's not bad going forward either, especially his Team of the Year card. And if you're comparing him to Vieira in terms of agility and what they're able to give you on the offensive end, it's really not a comparison.
Ronaldo makes his way past 1, 2. Oh, what a block from Van Dijk. Again, coming up trumps for MsDossary, not just with a goal, but a goal-saving block there in the last seconds of the first leg. So that is going to be a win for MsDossary going into the second leg. Lots still to play for, though. We've seen Tekkz overturn 2, 3, 4 goal deficits before. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, Tekkz is going to go on his usual bathroom break, it appears. Maybe send a couple text messages, get on the phones, come back, you know, revamp himself a little bit.
Is that allowed? You're allowed to use your phone in between? Because it reminds me of like exams, you know, school exams, and you ask to go to the toilet, and people would go and they'd leave like a textbook in the toilets. Has he got a FIFA? Has he got a FIFA walkthrough manual in the toilets to go to read and say, oh, you need to click A more?
I feel like Spencer just told us what he did in school.
No,
oh, okay, you just knew about the textbook plan.
I did get surprisingly good results there, that's all I'll say. But no, I never did that, guys. You just got to revise. The trick is just revise.
What are you going to do? You got to follow him in there, be like, let me get your phone?
No, yeah, Tekkz has obviously just got a weak bladder. Anyway, let's take a look at some replays from that first game. And this was Tekkz having a good start to the game, Mike.
The ideal start.
Bit of luck on this hit, of course. Ruud with the deflection. But Ronaldo puts it past De Gea, and De Gea was fuming with his defenders there. So Tekkz went 1-0 up. Wasn't long before Dossary got himself back in it. Mbappe finding a pass to Neymar, and a lot of aerial play really coming up trumps for Dossary.
And some might argue that De Gea should get a hand to that. It looks like it floats just right in front of his face.
And then MsDossary on the attack again here. De Gea just gets a vital touch on that one for Tekkz, stopping the chance. Neymar into a hit, maybe a little bit of a lucky deflection there, but again cleared by Tekkz. Dossary really, when you look at these replays back, you realise he was pretty dominant in the game, Mike. He
really put it into motion in the second half, because we saw him pressing so much better that every time we got a takeaway, it created an easier opportunity. It's the right place at the right time in order to generate chances.
Yeah, another chance that went missing for Dossary here. We saw just before this the green header, which went straight into the keeper's hands for Tekkz. That was probably his best missed chance, but that was a big one for Dossary, going 2-1 up there. And yeah, he did really have a pretty convincing first leg. This was a last-second chance in the first leg, which Van Dijk got in the way of and stopped Tekkz equalising things. You can see Dossary. Look how relaxed he is right now, Mike.
He does look relaxed.
He's in the driving seat.
Yeah, he's definitely, he's probably feeling good about that first leg. However, Tekkz is going to come back from his bathroom visit. He's going to have a new plan. We've seen this happen in the past where Tekkz maybe doesn't have an ideal first leg. Second leg comes back a little more motivated. Maybe got a hype man talk, or maybe just gathered his thoughts and figured out what he needed to change. Because that's what it's all about, making minor adjustments that make a big difference. It's all about margins.
Tekkz is very good at learning from the first leg. We saw him do it against #Ryan, 2-0 down actually, and come back and be very dominant in the second leg. What do you think? I actually wonder, when I first heard about Tekkz's little breaks in between games, I thought it was a bit of a mind game. You know, whether you're winning or whether you're losing, you're kind of taking the momentum away from your opponent if he's on top, which Dossary was, and just saying, I'm not going to let you get straight back into a game. I'm going to cool it down. I don't have to rush it. And I'm going to have a little bit of a game plan strategy session for the next game. If you're winning as well, it's kind of like, it's like doing the opposite of putting your opponent out of his misery. It's making him sit there and wait for this second leg. So do you think it's a little bit of that, or do you think Tekkz just likes a break, clear and simple?
I think it's a fair argument, kind of like a timeout in basketball. Just regroup, and your opponent has to sit there and think about what he did well or where he struggled.
Yeah.
Both of those are not necessarily ideal situations, and maybe Tekkz is getting his thoughts all together ready, like, okay, I want to adjust this. I need to be a little more pressing. I got to get in behind. I made too many mistakes in the midfield. We talk about analyzing your gameplay. You need to be your biggest fan and your biggest critic if you want to be a professional FIFA player.
So with that in mind, if you were in Tekkz's corner and you just had a little chat with him, what would you be telling him? What does he need to do better in that second leg? Because for me, Dossary dominated the first one.
I thought the first half was relatively even. We each had 2 shots, pretty even on possession. even on passing percentage, you name it. In the second half, I felt like Tekkz was a little more stagnant when he was attacking. He needs to be more dynamic. He has to get in behind. Maybe some quicker passes to open up space. I felt like Msdossary's pressing was dominant versus Tekkz attacking, so to speak. And that's where we saw a lot more chances created. He was able to convert, and he's going into the second leg with a 1-goal lead.
Okay, well, there is the man, of course, the name on everyone's lips in the FIFA scene at the moment, F2Tekkz. And does he really mind if he loses this game? Of course, there's the bragging rights. Of course, he said to me in that interview earlier, I know I'm the best in the world. I've beat Msdosary twice. He's only beat me once. This would make it 2-2.
It depends what happens this weekend. I'm sure if you told Tekkz, hey, do you want to lose this one and beat him in the elimination game, Tekkz would be like, yeah, I'll take that trade. No problem. I'm good with that. And carry on maybe a potential another major. And we're not talking about Megabit much either. Megabit's look like a different man. He's got a bit of a German strut. Every time I talk to him, he's saying, this is my tournament. This is my weekend. I'm feeling great about life. I'm feeling great about my FIFA play. He said he took a little bit of time off, and it's really helped him.
Well, he's currently in a great game against PSG-Dax, the only 2 unbeaten players left, and it's 2-2 after the first leg there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens there. I'll tell you what, I'll give you an update from around the grounds, Mike. Battlecat is 4-2 down against FaZe TAS. We know, obviously, Msdosary currently 2-1 up against F2Tekkz. De Gaucho is 4-2 up against Janos. Vitality Rafsu 4-2 up against Rebel Stokes. #Harry 3-2 up against Beto 19 Avia. We've got Sakal 2-0 down to Lyrics. Goal Machine 2-1 down to Marcus Gomes. We've got NSC Michel 2-1 down to Klinger. Ajax Joey's 1-0 up against Mauls. And Black Arrow 4-0 up against #Ryan. And there is an early goal for Msdosary, who is continuing the dominance against Tekkz here. It's 3-1.
And I was going to say, Msdosary completes set pieces. I know it sounds funny saying he completes them, but he does. A lot of different scenarios on the pitch and different sequences from set pieces, he's able to convert those opportunities. We saw it in his previous matchup against Goal Machine. We've seen him score corner kicks time and time again. And if you followed Msdosary over the last couple of years, he's won a lot of events via set pieces, whether it's a foul near the edge of the box, and he takes it direct or he lays it off. He just figures out a way to be efficient.
All 3 of his goals against Tekkz in this tie have been headers. Are we seeing a weak link, and perhaps a frailty in Tekkz's gameplay that other people could perhaps learn from here, Mike? Or is Msdosary just that good in the air and at set pieces, as you say?
I definitely believe in Msdosary being special.
I thought Tekkz was a special one. Msdosary can't be special too.
They're both special.
We've got to have set nicknames, they've been told.
So we've got Tekkz the special one. We got Prince with Msdosary.
Saudi Prince.
Saudi Prince.
He is special, though. I know what you mean. I just need the synonym for special. Can't use the same word.
Then we have the artiste with Dax, and we've got the mechanic with Megabit.
#Harry the Joker. Okay. The mechanic one I'm not sure about. I'm not sure how that applies to FIFA.
I'm trying to see if it grows on me or not.
Yeah.
It's kind of mechanical with his build-up.
I think Megabit's a great name.
Yeah, I like his standard name as well. It sounds like a nickname.
Anyway, Tekkz finds himself 3-1 down here, but you never count this kid out. He's special, and he's putting the ball in here, looking for the header, and he's just not winning the headers that Msdosary's winning right now. He's losing the aerial battle.
That was a little more predictable from Tekkz. A lot of times with his flick setups, he has a little more creativity in terms of how he's going through his build and making sure that the ball gets into the box, and that means a lot in those situations, because if your opponent's not ready for it, you might have the switch on him, and you give Ronaldo a chance to be Ronaldo.
You do not want to give Ronaldo a chance to be Ronaldo. Don't want to give him a chance to be Messi either, to be honest. Don't give him a chance to be anyone. Van Dijk into Neymar. Tekkz needs something here. Still got plenty of time, though. R9. Back to Neymar. Good pass down the line if he's onside. Just think he is. Mbappe cutting back now. Takes a little bit of a touch from Van Dijk. So strong, but he's weaving his way round him. Great footwork from the Frenchman. But Msdosary can counter very quickly as Neymar unleashes Cristiano Ronaldo on this right side. And he gets in front of his man. Is he going to shoot? He's still got it. Oh, and he's readied it. You don't want to do that. And Tekkz drops the ball to his goalkeeper's feet as if to say, I'm not sure what to do right now. And he's giving the ball away. You can't do this to the Saudi Prince, who's got the ball on the edge. Great play. Is there a pass across the box, or is it a shot at the near post? Eusebio makes it 4-1.
An uncharacteristic mistake from F2Tekkz, clearing the ball from his defense. I told you in the first game, the big shift was when MsDossary was starting to press more. He started to inch up the pitch, inch up the pitch, inch up the pitch, at least the virtual pitch. And every one of those mistakes ends up being an easier opportunity for him. Less passes, less of the build-up, less room for error, less margin for error when he's making his tax.
What I'm curious to know is, What's going through Tekkz's head right now? How does he feel about potentially going through with a 3-2 record? The worst possible record you can go through with, but it is still going through nonetheless. How many times have we seen people dominate the first day and then come back and be knocked out first time? These guys know it's all about how you finish, not how you start. And Tekkz isn't finishing too great here in this particular game, but he can maybe get a chance at great tackle from Rio Ferdinand there against Neymar. Now Marcelo can get forward, and MsDossary is breaking quickly. And look at that, Tekksz's passing is still superior to MsDossary's, but it's dropped 8% from 97 to 89%. He's not completing as many passes as he was at this point in the first leg. MsDossary is still coming at Tekkz now. He wants more, he wants blood. He scored a lot of goals past his teammate, Rogue Machine, and that's against a teammate. We know there's no love lost between these two. We've heard the words, the battle of words, the war of the words, you should say, already today between these guys. And Tekkz is making some strange choices here, Mike.
Yeah, we're getting an okay Tekkz, and we're getting a mint DoSari. And that's why the score
Premium
line,
quality.
Yeah, a premium quality DoSari, without a doubt. And he just came off, like you said, a really big match with Goal Machine, and I feel like that built his confidence, built the momentum, and the way that he's attacking, it looks just so fluid. It has a rhythmic feel.
He's certainly doing that, and we're going to see this attack here from DoSari play out in great position against Tekkz. This is a seeding game, remember. Both boys going through, but the winner will have a slightly better seed. And we're actually going to leave that game now. We're going to jump into another game, a game that is an elimination game, this final Swiss format round.